No. I sponsored it. Yeah, I saw you. We're on the thing rotating. Yeah, I wrote a check. Yeah, it was, it was very difficult for me to get all 10. Give you a college try. I did give it a college try. Yeah, Megan had plans that I was on my own. I was going to. Yeah. I'm there based on. All right, it is November the 6th, 2023, 5:45 p.m. We're going to call this Finance Committee meeting to order. Presidents are council members Lang, Chute, Barker, Hauser, and Marmee. First item on the agenda. Oh, wait a minute. Gotta give you the numbers. Is that the unappropriated balance of the general fund is at $141,139. The cash balance of the budget stabilization fund is at $1,676,530. And the first item on the agenda is a request for appropriation amount of $400.
Good evening. The fire department recently sold some things at the auction, $400 worth of items. They'd like to recoup that money for their equipment supplies account.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Lang, second by Barker. Any questions and or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor send this on full council signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. That motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Next item on the agenda is request for appropriation amount of $260,000.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Down on the corner of State Route 16, Nathan Road in East Main, there's a corner piece of property there. If you turn down there, it's right across the street from Tessie Distributing. There's been a lot of activity on that property. We've restricted curb cuts off of the Dayton Road side. I've met with the engineer, met with the mayor. We've determined that that would be a good piece of property for the city to own. It's available now. There's nothing on it. Some point in the future, when I say in the future, it could be up to 20 years. It looks like a dot might want to do something with that corner for that piece or widening. So just keeping with what we've been doing, trying to buy strategic corners. This is one we've identified.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Lang, second by Barker. Questions and or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor send us on full council signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. The motion passes 5-0. The next item is an appropriation for the $260,000. That one was just for the OPT fund. So now we need a motion. I'd entertain a motion for that.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Lang, second by Barker. Further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, send us on full council signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. That motion passes 5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Director. Next item on the agenda is a request for appropriation amount of $16,625.
Good evening. So this is from our unappropriated balance of our water funds. Proposing is currently doing some paving around the city, and this is for additional curb boxes, water curb boxes that they find are damaged or need replaced. And so just some money that we didn't have to come.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Hauser, second by Lang. Any questions and or discussion? I thought it was a typo. Usually you're never less than 6 minutes. All those in favor, send us on full council, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. That motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is request for appropriation in the amount of $550,365.64.
Speak on these three items that make up this $550,000 are proceeds from the most recent note sale. The sale's been done and we just need to appropriate these funds. to be able to use them.
Second.
Motion by Lang, second by Barker. Questions and or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, send us on full council, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. That motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is request for appropriation now of $18,512.09.
So this is an odd one. This is actually, we had a vehicle that was involved in an accident and the other driver was at fault. So we got an insurance claim paid to the city for the damages in that $18,512.09. So then I need to appropriate these funds that we've already deposited to pay the Common Automotive for the repairs.
Motion. Second. Motion by Lang, second by Barker. Questions and or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, send us on full council, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is a resolution, 23-94.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is a non-binding resolution of the study from the framework consulting collaboration that went on, started about 2 years ago. I think a few of you have attended some of the meetings. It's a non-binding resolution, but was asked of each of the 15 member communities to agree to its premise, I guess, and its foundation a little bit. And as we move forward, work in a collaborative fashion as growth happens throughout the county, they adjusted a little bit, and it's to make it agreeable to everyone a little bit. But it's as you read through it, there isn't any financial commitments or nothing like that. It just kind of work together as we grow and keep our conversations going.
Just asking, this is gonna open back up a can of worms. We stopped doing non-binding resolutions about 15 years ago. And so, are you asking, once we open this back up and any resolution costs the city money, so if it's non-binding, is there anything else that we can do to show support to this without making it a resolution? Because we made a commitment about 15 years ago to no longer do any non-binding resolutions or resolutions of support or anything along those lines.
I'm not aware, I mean, to be honest with you, it was a $461,000 study, 300,000 was played by the private sector, and they're asking for this from each of the member communities, and they're all passing it. So I will probably, I can go back and ask, but I think the fact that it is non-binding a little bit, it's a unique situation a little bit, so they just wanted to be sure that council was completely in agreement, I think, of the premise of the study and what came out of the study. So they're asking this, and the people that are the players in it a little bit are kind of rather important in the community a little bit. So.
And I understand that. I guess so. So here's the situation. This council 10 who, if we did this 3 months ago, it would have been 3 different people. Or actually, 3 different people that would have had the binding resolution and supported something for the future. And it isn't like it's law or anything along those lines, or it is non-binding just by the sheer definition of it. And that's why, the reason why we did away with it. Because, you know, it costs us money to file these things. And then if we do it for this entity, how do we say no to the next one? And so, I'm not trying to argue for or against, I'm in support of framework. 110%, I am in support of it. What I don't want to do is lead our council down a direction that we went away from 15 years ago and intentionally went away from it because we were doing it over and over and over again. And it does, anytime we file a resolution, no matter what, it's gonna cost money.
Sure, and I understand, I get, this would be an exception to that, I'm not gonna per se sell it to you, I mean, I agree with you with the statements you made in many ways, and you can certainly, table it out there, however you want, I can report back, there's a lot of different ways to handle this, I guess, probably, whatever you think, at the end of the day, I mean, I think you understand the study completely, you understand everybody involved with it
Right.
in many ways, and probably I would say, as far as I know, all the other communities have passed it, but I know whether it's an exception, so that's, it's up to you guys.
Okay.
Handle how you best see fit.
Thank you, Chair. And as Chair said, we fully back the framework.
Sure.
You know that, and we've had conversations specifically, Chair and I, about non-binding resolutions, because at the last framework meeting that he and I both attended, they announced this and we talked about it. And maybe this is something where instead of a non-binding resolution, could it be a proclamation of the city that you do as mayor? Proclaiming the acceptance of the framework report. I don't know if that would suffice. I know talking with Jennifer Roberts after that and let her know that we had this rule policy.
Right.
She said, however, you guys need to do it to fit within your rules. So I guess I would ask if there could be some kind of proclamation so that we don't set that precedent or reset that.
Sure.
I would just ask that we.
I can have that discussion with them. Yeah, absolutely.
And we can even, I mean, we've done things where council members have individually pledged their support in writing by signing, something along those lines, but it's just when we make it, when we do it as a resolution, it's just, I mean, we were doing them at least once a month back in the day, and everybody was asking for them. And so it really did become somewhat of an issue, and we just don't want to get down that slippery slope. Now, if it's something that will really, really help them, and that, if we need to make an exception, but we're gonna have to make it clear and come up with a justification for that exception. And I think we need to make it clear so that then we don't put ourselves in a position of doing it for one and not for somebody else.
Sure, I understand that. Probably in this entire framework charge, as you know, we are the largest community, and
Exactly.
it's probably lead by example. I mean, that's kind of the role we played in a lot of this. We have had a lot of things going on anyways in growth and infrastructure improvements through the years. And I don't know that Intel's changed that completely, but it's probably an encouragement for the surrounding communities that we've got good relationships with. So are you suggesting that individual council members might sign a proclamation?
Sure, I'd be willing to.
I would.
I 110% would.
Okay.
I would rather do that than set ourselves up in this council. And I'm not speaking for anybody but
I got that.
myself.
I understand.
But I know that I just don't want to put ourselves in a position where we go back to the way that
Sure.
we worked so hard to get away from it.
Sure.
So,
Okay, great. Yes.
Just a quick question for our law director. Is there any reason we couldn't all sign a proclamation like that? Everybody from council?
No.
So here's what I mean, I'm just giving a recommendation. Someone would have to make a motion. I'd say make a motion to table this.
Yeah.
We don't want to take it off if this is the only thing we could have to do. So let's not say it's a dead issue. Let's say if we come up with something else, then we'll do something else. But if it doesn't work and it doesn't, then we'll look at this.
Yeah, I'll offer the motion to table.
Okay.
Then you can table it for a time certain, so it has to come back up again.
Yeah,
Table for 30 days.
okay.
Second.
And I think that's fine. I'll draft something up and make a couple calls and see if that's appease everybody and it's fine. I think if the intent is there, it still shows in that fashion. It's just a
Right.
logistical issue with us a little bit. I
Yeah.
certainly understand that.
I'm not trying to speak for everybody else, but I know in just the sense that everybody else is in support of it as much as I am, this whole framework. The meetings were great. The whole concept is fantastic. I think just the communication aspect and bringing the communities together is just phenomenal. I think it's already benefited, those that are involved in just getting it out there, so.
And if you notice, there's some posters outside of these doors that talk about framework a little bit. And then if you go to frameworklc.org, the full study is there in a PDF form, so you can go through it and turn the pages and notice it, but that'd be fine. And I'll reach out and give you an update. So,
Okay, so I have a motion to table for 30 days by Barker, second by Lang. No discussion on that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. That motion passes 5-0.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And with that, the Finance Committee meeting stands adjourned. Next up is service. I'll agree. Well, that's leaves on Sunday. All I kept thinking the whole time, I got a 25-year-old son and a 30-year-old son. Where were they at? My son-in-law was working. I'll give him a break. My son was in bed.
Man, right now.
On the weekends,
I did it first thing in the morning.
He just-
I know, maybe on Friday night, he'll stay all night game then, because that's his night. So he sleeps till about.
I couldn't.
I don't even know how to spell it. I've never had that.
I will call the service committee meeting to order. Those present are myself, Raph, Neely, Barker, Ron, Line, and Shoot. I almost said Ryan. Could read my own writing here. Up first, ordinance number 23-54, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Newark City Safety Director to certify to the Licking County Auditor the sum of $612,514 incurred by the Newark City Property Maintenance Department with respect to property maintenance violations to be placed as a lien upon certain parcels of real estate, of real property situated in the city of Newark, Ohio. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the annual lien document prepared by the Property Maintenance Division for unpaid property maintenance fines.
Motion by Barker,
Second.
second by Line. Any questions? Questions from the audience? Seeing none, all those in favor of sending this on to council, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That'll pass with a vote of 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That we are going to go into executive session. Yeah, please do. Thank you. Right for the time. Up next, we do need to go into executive session to discuss pending legal issues with council. Those to be present are all council members, mayor, service director, city auditor, law director, and assistant.
That's it.
All those, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Parker,
Second.
seconded by Blind. As a roll call. Mr. Neely?
Here.
I lost some calls. Thank you. I know you're here, I see you. Ms. Barker,
Yes.
Blind,
Yes.
Mr. Chu. And the chair votes yes. Thank you. We will go into executive session unless you're on that list that I read off. If you could please vacate the room, I would appreciate it.